a podcast.
Apparently, we are having way too much fun with this. Jesus. All right. Time to get serious. Welcome to The Proxy Wars. I'm Frexian.
And I'm Big Snake.
Today we're talking about our results in the Castle Siege cEDH event.
I had a blast. Did you have fun?
I had an insane blast. I ended up placing 284 out of 308 players. I got 6 out of 0, and I still had an insanely great time.
Yeah, I placed 166 with Kinnan out of 308, and I got 1 win, 4 losses, and 1 draw.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's not bad. Look at this guy getting a win over here.
So let's talk about our rounds. How was your round 1?
My round 1 was Godo in Seed 1, me in Seed 2, Raul Zarek in Seed 3, and then we had Rog Ishai in Seed 4. I started out really strong. I ended up getting quite a few Mana Rock pieces out turn 1 and was able to go for Raph and Mikey turn 2. I just wasn't able to chain it enough, and then by turn 3, the Raul Zarek player and the Rog Ishai player ended up working together to be able to remove my commander over to his side of the board. When they did that, he used sudden substitution, which I've never seen. That was a crazy card. He ended up taking my commander, and then on his turn, he used my commander to spin into Dwarven Artist, Storm Artist, or something like that. It's whenever Stormcome Artist, and whenever you cast a spell, he makes a treasure, and then he was able to Raul flip into just pretty much chain it into an infinite just spell slinging deck, stormed off, and was able to just win right there on the spot on turn 3. And I was like,
dang, pretty quick.
Yep, ended up taking my commander and everything to do it. I was like, son of a. And so the winner went to C3, the Raul player.
Okay.
How was your first one?
My first game was Sithis versus another Kennen in Seat 2, Dihada in Seat 3, and me in Seat 4.
Ooh, C4.
It wasn't so bad. The Sithis and Dihada weren't doing much. The guy summoned Dihada, and the other Kennen player stole his Dihada and made some treasures, and instantly kind of became the threat. Tried Force of Willing his Basalt, but in response he just tapped and got Infinite Colorless to go get Thrasios spin for his wins. It didn't feel bad though. It was like turn 5, turn 6, probably about half hour, 40 minutes into the game. So we just got to play some wholesome Magic until he won.
Yep. I mean, I feel like I could have negotiated in my first round a little bit better, and maybe I could have got everyone to ask for a draw instead of pushing on my turn because of the results of how they had to cast the spell. But I was hell-bent. I was like, I'm trying to get my win. I'm going to just try and swing through. If I can't swing through, then just lose, pretty much. Yep.
No cards in hand, no spells, no extra combats.
Exactly. So for my second game, in C1 we had TMNT, which was Thrasios and Tidma. And then we had C2, which was Tyam, if I'm saying that right? Tyam. Yep. And then C3 was Kinnan, and then I was in C4 this time. I was still able to get a bunch of Mana Rocks down turn 1 and explode, get my commander out on the board. It went for a good minute. I made a mistake later on against the TMNT player because they were casting Hazel Brewmaster. I had a Debalt in hand. When he was casting his Hazel Brewmaster, one of the other players ended up flashing out an OBM. And because I saw what was going to happen, he was going to take his triggers and like kind of use them. I was hoping to use them on his board, but he ended up pointing them at my commander, wiping out some other threats. So I was like, I should have just used Debalt's Trickery to count Hazel Brewmaster instead of letting this Thrasios time it deck get infinite mana. I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. That was so dumb of me. But I was.
Oops.
Yep, I was swinging out. I had everyone down to some super low health. I think I had a couple players under 20. Everyone was getting knocked down, and I was just from one combat. If I could get to the next combat, it would have been game.
But it never got there.
Yep, every time.
That's kind of how I felt with Kinnan too. The other Kinnan player, when they stole the Dahada, I was like, now I'm behind. I didn't realize it was just gonna like end right then. But I was like, if they can get to me, then I might have this still. But once they stole the Dahada and made treasures and were just ready to go, I was like, oh Jesus, it's game.
Yep. All right, how was your second game, buddy?
My second game was Rogsai seat 1, me on Kinnan seat 2, Lotho seat 3, and Rogdress seat 4. The Rogsai player immediately tried to Tainted Pact, I think, and I force of willed it. And then he kind of politicked, you have to, and I kind of like, yeah, now's a good time before you can just spin off. So he tried to defend it with a daze or something. I forget what he countered me with. And then the Rock Thrash player pitched in, and we stopped that. But then the next turn, he had Nas down to 4, I believe.
Oh
and was in killing range, and I kind of left him alone, knowing like, all right, you whiffed it, you didn't get what you needed, and he kind of admitted to like, I didn't get what I need, and I have all these cards I have to sculpt. Lotho player didn't really much. He was making treasures off Lotho, but the Rock Thrash player had the Growing Rights of Vitlamok.
Yep, the one that turns into an Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah, and a candle of Candelabra. And
Candelabra to untap lands. Yep.
Yeah, and it was pretty gross. And he won by going through Thrasios and then dumping a bunch of Tallies onto the field and stealing everyone's deck that way, and not even really caring to play because infinite chunks.
Oh wow.
He
went infinite chunkies. Yeah. Oh my goodness, and a Rog Thrash.
Yeah, and stole the game.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty good. That's off to that player. What about your round 3? How was round 3?
So my round 3, I was C1. Thank goodness for that. C2 was Rog Thrash. C3 was Rowan, and then C4 was Rog Thrash. So it started off. I actually thought I had a really good hand. I ended up playing a single land, tapped it for 1, got out Soul Ring, ended up tapping Soul Ring and playing Icercon Scepter with Pyroblast. So I was like, yes, right off the gate, I have the Rog Thrash and the other Rog Thrash kind of like pinned down. I can do 2 mana to stop whatever blue spells they want to do to try and run away with the game.
Nice.
And then turn 2, Rowan ends up with his commander damaging himself for 5 life. His spells cost 5 less. All of a sudden, he has this buyback spell that he can do infinitely. The Seat 2, which was the Rog Thrash player, one of the Rog Thrash players, he responded to it one time, and then he placed this creature that allowed him to like return a spell from his graveyard, and then he's like, good game? And we're like, yeah, good game.
Dang.
Turn 2. That one went down so fast. And it was a red spell, so I'm like, I can't interact.
Yep, that Pyroblast or Red Elemental doesn't do shit now.
Not a darn thing. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That was a good game. Good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
That kind of sucks to see.
The Rock Thrashes I weren't worried about. And this dude with the Rowan deck came out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what does your commander do again?
Yeah.
So if you've lost life, it reduces your spells by that generic amount? What the hell?
Rowan's pretty quick. Black, red, no.
And then all of a sudden he's like, I win. And I'm like, red spell. I can't do anything.
Can you guys answer?
Got the Rog Thrashes. Rog Thrashes like a counter one time, but he only had the 1 counter spell. So it's like, I bring him back. Good game. And it's like, yep, good game.
Yeah.
What about you, buddy? How was your third game?
So third game I played actually upstairs on that balcony kind of area, and
it was nice up there.
It was kind of nice
Spacious.
up there. Yeah. But it was in seat 1. It was Lord of Nazgul. It's a black-blue Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. I believe it's just a Dawson Monocon deck.
Okay.
Black-blue random commander kind of thing.
Okay.
Me seat 2, Rogsai seat 3, and Rogdress seat 4.
Oh my goodness, Rog Sai and Rog Dress.
Yeah, it
Jeez.
was and Kennen for me. The Lord of Nazgul didn't really do anything. Me by turn 3 or 4, I had set up Moon Silver Key to search for Basalt Monolith, and then got Basalt Monolith out and was able to then drop enough tower counters into Helix Pinnacle to win the game on my upkeep once I passed. But before I passed, I let everyone know all the interaction I had in my hand, which was Mind Break Trap, Force of Will, Fierce Guardianship, and a Force of Vigor. So when I passed the turn with 100 tower counters on, I also made sure to get a Silver Mirror up so that I could tap it for the blue mana to interact with all this.
Makes sense.
And yeah, the guy started scratching his head, and he was like, I don't know how we get rid of this, boys. And the Rog Thras player started going like, well, what if we this, what if we that? And they couldn't come up with anything. So the Rog Sai player was like, all right, well, what if I just try to present a win here, which is the correct answer. And he played Thassa, and I Force of Willed it, and then he played Counterspell on that. Then the Rog Thras player chipped in and helped me. And then we stopped him from winning, but that was only because the Rog Thras player had a win in hand. So then me and the Rog side player were going to stop the Rog Thras player, but the Lord of Nazgul, Rog Sai, and Rog Thras all decided, hey, is this a good point for a draw? Because if you counter me, then you're going to let the Kinnan player win on their upkeep. And I didn't really want it, but I was like, let's take the draw. Otherwise, one of us wins right now.
Right, then that's fair. Go for the draw, because he probably would have stolen the win from you anyway. So it might as well have just been like, yeah, we'll go for the draw instead of just trying to make it to my upkeep, which probably won't happen.
Well, it might happen, but it would have been on the Rog side player to counter the Rog Thras, and then that's almost king making, with then letting it get to my upkeep.
Yep. So exactly. So since they knew if they counter that spell, they intentionally let you win, which
so
like
I
you said,
I was okay with the draw instead of him winning.
Exactly.
A third loss, 2 losses.
And sometimes it's just what you gotta do. Sometimes sometimes it's actually better to take a draw than it is to take a loss. Like I've obviously seen that with the results here.
Right.
At this tournament, going 0-6-0, I wound up at 284th, and you got 161. If I would have just gotten one draw because of whatever,
a little better than 280. Yeah, if you had at least gotten a draw.
I shouldn't have been so hell bent. Just like, I refuse. I'm gonna swing through to kill everyone.
And that's how I played my third one. Was like, I'm gonna try and get it, boys, and there's nothing you can do really to stop me from it. You can try to win on your turn, but you can't stop me from winning.
Yep.
How'd the fourth round go for you?
So the fourth round, seat 1 was, what is that? Noctis.
Yeah, Noctis.
Yep. And then C2 was Magda. C3 was Jin Sakai.
Black, white, blue.
And then I was in seat 4 again. So not the greatest position, but I was able to get my commander out turn 2, and then kind of stalled and ran into problems like it always does, because for me to get my commander out most of the time, I have to use LED. Crack LED, discard my hand. I don't have a hand, and I only run 3 creatures in the deck, which is Port Razor, Raph and Mikey, or Raph Tag Team Tough, and then Old Gnawbone. And multiple games, I wound up with 24 to 40 plus treasure due to all the extra combats and everything, without having anything in hand.
No cards in hand.
And that hurts so bad so many times. I'm like, yep, if I could just draw some cards, I could probably do something, but
no cards in hand, no extra combats.
Exactly. Yeah, no extra combats, or at least not enough combats.
Yeah, because I was hitting people here with the LED and not being able to push further.
Yep, LED is kind of, but it's great. It allows me to get my commander out usually turn 1, turn 2, which is insane. I wasn't able to get him out turn 1 on any of those events. If I could have got him out turn 1, I actually think I would have won.
Been able to draw
quite a few
something.
Well, because as long as turn 1 I get him out, and let's say I hit extra combat dude, and then I hit Old Gnawbone. Yep. I'm set. And all I need to do is go to my next turn. Now he's over his summoning sickness. He can swing every combat instead of just the one, and it would have been way better. In the end, Noctis ended up winning. I'm not even sure. After that, it was such a long time. I was super hungry at that point in time. I was starting to get kind of tired. I was like, oh my goodness,
Ready to call it a day almost.
losing focus. Uh, I know that Noctis did win, but I am not sure how he won. To be completely honest, I have actually forgotten. What about your fourth game?
My fourth game ended probably in like I don't even know 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes. It was a VV seat 1, Timnacrom seat 2, Atraxa Grand Unifier seat 4 and or seat 3, and me on seat 4. And unfortunately, on turn 1, the Timnacrom person did a Tainted Pact and passed, and Atarka played a Ristic Study. I was able to get Kinnan out, and by the time that it got back around to the Timnacrom player, they ad naused, and then they, well, I'm gonna try, might as well right in my tournament, and they cast Lost of Demonicon and got the win pretty fucking quickly.
On Tricast, turn 3. Lost of Demonicon, good game.
No, that was my round 5, but we'll talk about your round 5 first.
That's totally fair. So my round 5, first seat was Rogthras versus Vorina. And Verona in seat 2. I was in seat 3, and then seat 4 was Obnixilis. So it started out pretty quick. I got a good hand. I was able to get my commander out turn 2 again, but I ended up using LED.
Oh my god.
I was able to do it though, but I ended up I swung the first time. I ended up getting Port Razor. Swung the second time. Ended up getting Wrath, Troublemakers, or Tag Team Tough, and then I swung again. Got Old Gnawbone, and by the next turn that came around, because I think this actually went 4 turns. So it went to me by the third turn. I was able to swing at most of the people, but I just didn't really have any cards to play or anything in hand, and the one card I drew didn't really help me.
Dang, son.
Yeah, and then I passed it off to the Magda player, and he tried to do what he could. Or no, sorry, the Varina player. He tried to do what he could. He ended up lightning bolting. We'd gotten the Rogthras player down all the way to 1 life. And then he was able to stall the damage from one of his effects, or one of the effects, at the beginning of his upkeep, and then go into an infinite combo. And I'm pretty sure that the Obnixilis player was about to win right after that. So it was great.
Neck and neck vicious.
Or the Farina, sorry. Jeez. The order here is a little thrown off. I do apologize. Yeah, so it was the Rogthras. He went to win, and then if he wouldn't have won, it would have went to Farina, and they would have won right away. Where me and him were just kind of sitting there like, if I could just get one more turn.
right. Story of the day, dude.
Right. So yeah, I was being super aggressive every game. What's crazy is I ended up making 20 to 30 treasures most of the time without just having anything to
do with it.
All this mana, nothing to cast.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it was super sad.
Yeah. My game 5 was, again, different player, but Timnacrom, another Kinnan player, me in seat 3, and Godo on seat 4.
Godo.
And this is the person who just on turn 1 they dropped an island and a fish, and then turn 2 they played a swamp and some random 1-cost black creature, and then turn 3 he was like, "What are we doing if we're not playing Magic?" And I'm gonna
swing for the push on Dawson and Monaco.
Between me, the other Kinnan, and Godo, we didn't have nothing to do with that, so that guy won even faster than my 4th round. My 5th round was turn 3, and I don't know, 10 minutes in.
Oh my goodness.
No one had done really anything, and yeah, good game.
Yep, good game. Oh, I feel that.
So two Timnacroms in a row kind of had me self-defeated, and I didn't know if I even wanted to play the 6th round, or even just like, alright, I need to eat something too, or I'm starting to get hangry and just kind of annoying all these losses. But it was a fun time to be had the whole time. How was your final round?
So I I was a little frustrated too. I feel you there. I was like, come on, man, I can at least get one win. I didn't get one win, but I really did try. I was trying every time. The only time that I felt like I was totally outpaced was in game 3. In the last game, I went in C1. C2 was Seige, C3 was Narset, and C4 was Rock Thras again. And I ended up getting a really good opening hand, was able to explode, get my commander out turn 2, start swinging, hitting everyone for combat damage just like I had planned, and ended up stalling out just like before. And then the Seige player ended up spinning into Deadpool, getting Deadpool out, stealing my commander's text box, which then allowed them to swing to get a spin pretty much for one of their creatures. They did this, ended up doing this 2 turns because I was able to sacrifice my commander and bring him back because I had tons of treasures thanks to that. They ended up wiping out my extra combat creatures, which then that was another thing I looked at. I was like, I might need to run a little bit more recursion in here because if I can't get my extra combat creatures back from the graveyard, that really messes me up too.
Right.
Or be able to prevent their demise at least, which I do run that, but...
Right, and you said this Rock Thras player in Pod 6 was also from Pod 3?
Yeah, same player. He was great though.
Yeah.
He was great. He ended up casting Heuristic Study. We drew him into a good amount of cards. I could usually pay the cost though, so he didn't have to.
But he already knew what Mikey and Raph were about.
When the Seige player started popping off though, I did try to cast a spell, but then the Seige player was like, well, I can just respond and technically go over top of your spell by keep activating Seige spins, which I was like, this is true, yeah. So they ended up burying us in Seige spins, getting infinite amount of mana, and pinging us for an infinite amount of life, or milling us out, and it was the end of that game. And that was the last game of the day for me. Ended up with the Seige stomping us out pretty hard.
They lost, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a good game. It did take like 5 or 6 turns. And the only reason I ended up getting slowed down is because I had to recast my commander. I didn't have any extra creatures to be swinging with to deal enough damage at that point in time. So I know one of the things that I'm looking at doing is, 1, adding more draw power, and then I might actually add 1 more creature. I'm probably going to add Blightsteel Colossus just for an automatic player killer, 1 turn. If I can get my commander out turn 2, swing, hit the extra combat, swing, hit him. That's a player eliminated.
Right.
And then that's 1 less threat I have to worry about. Assess the other threats as much as possible. I mean, I kind of feel like it does make the deck whiff a little bit better, but if they don't have a 3rd creature, that whenever this creature deals damage, you get an extra combat. There's only the 2, so.
Or maybe when they deal combat damage, draw or something.
Yep. Well, and I did a little bit of work on the deck, so, but we'll talk about that later. How was your 6th game?
So my 6th game was where I got the win. It was me in seat 1, Thras Vile Smasher in seat 2, Tim Necrom yet again, seat 3, and then Magda, seat 4. And turn 1, I was able to play Kinnan with a Trop Pile and Chrome Mox, and then I pitched my Elvish Spirit Guide for Birds of Paradise. Past turn, the Thras Vile player did a Verity Circle for turn 1.
Verity Circle.
So every time I tap this bird or any of the things, he gets to draw. Same with the Magna player, when they tap the Thras Vile Smasher would draw. Tim the Crom, he just kind of played a fish, and then I think on just a fish for turn 1, and then Magda played a Vexing Bauble, which actually came in clutch and helped me steal the win, because then I played Penum's Aura on turn 2.
Right.
And
it's that weird little enchantment you have, that Shroud, and you can put 100 tower counters on it when you do at the beginning of your upkeep, you win the game.
Yeah, same thing as game 3. I got a Penum's Aura on the birds, and then I was gonna tap through, but that would have drawn the guy with the Verity Circle all the cards. So I announced that I was tapping it 4 times for 2 blue, and because of Kinnan, and
you mapped it out.
Get green, mapped it out. 4 draws is what he got. They weren't enough, because then I played the Helix Pinnacle Force of Vigor to destroy his Verity Circle and the Fish players. Enchantments, destroy 2 enchantments.
Nice.
So that I could play the Helix Pinnacle and then tap birds to.
So you hard casted.
Counters.
You hard casted figure.
Yeah, hard cast figure for 4 by tapping birds.
Nice.
4 times.
Perfect.
Get rid of that Verity circle, get rid of the fish, and then
Now they can't draw on
the tower
responses.
counter. I passed turn, and then I kind of turned all 3 of them one at a time, the Magnum, Timnicrom, and the Thras Battle Smasher, and asked them if they have destroy all enchantments, and they all said no, and I was like, okay, good game, and they all kind of, no, let me think about it, and I let them think about it. I gave them their chance. Maybe they have something in their deck, maybe, but I didn't think so. I know I'd won at that point, so I was even trying to help them. Maybe if you have this, it'll destroy my thing. Oh, maybe if you can copy it and then play your own cannon, or trying to, I don't think you guys got this, so let me try to help you out here. And yeah, I totally secured the win. The Magnum Tim the Crown player, when they passed the Magnum just passed turn, and they all GG, good game, great card.
Nice. Well, I know I had a great time. It was awesome. It was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of people. Saw a lot of people there. It was awesome. Even though I lost every game, I loved how every time I pretty much sat down at a table, everyone looked at me and was like, "You're the threat," and that was fun, and it was good because I totally was. By turn 2, turn 3, just trying to combat swing everyone to death. It was great.
I didn't really understand the tower thing or the teams thing, but then when I won, I got my green sticker for being on green team, and was able to place my green sticker on the green tower upstairs. It was really nice. We'll show you guys a picture of that with all the stickers from everyone's wins.
Yep. I told you, man. I told you one of us would get a win right there at the end of the night. I was like, dude, we're 6 deep. One of us is going to get a win.
Never give up. I got one win at the very end.
Exactly. And thanks for joining us on another episode of The Proxy Wars.
We love casting spells.
I keep doing that. No.
Stop threatening our listeners.